What's up, class? How you doing today? In this lesson, we are going to give some glory today. All right? I want to shout out all the women viewers in our community. Okay? All the men, if you got a woman in your life, mom, girlfriend, wife, today we need to show them some love. Okay? And every day we should be showing them love. But for today, we're going to give some extra glory and praise to the woman of your life, okay? I've had some deep revelation in the past 48 hours. To mention a few, I went to an event called the Women Empowerment Expo, and there was well over probably like 2,000 women there. There was so many powerhouse entrepreneurs and just business owners doing some amazing things. So I want to shout out all the women that spoke to me, that gave me insight, gave me advice, and I specifically want to shout out the woman of my life, okay, my lover, the person I dream about spending the majority of my life with. And I was blown away because last night I hit a point where I kind of broke down. I cried my eyes out. I was really struggling with some things, with some capacity issues, in the business and in my personal relationship. And I was, and I came to my woman because of the powers that women possess. And I've went over this before. Women are the greatest influencers, the best managers, and the greatest treasure. Along with so many other things they possess, these three things was exactly what I needed when I was in this position of doubt and not knowing where to go. I wasn't praying to God, so that was issue number one. She pointed that out because I was been doing this channel pretty much all alone, even though I talk the word and I say the word and I do the word, but there's those simple things we forget to do, as simple as prayer and being grateful and asking for guidance. Even when you think you know everything, when you think you got it down packed, what I learned is God didn't tell you everything that He knows. So therefore, that should be an indication to remain humble and remain a student your entire life, simply because of that. God didn't tell us everything that He knows. Isn't that cool? So we can spend our whole entire life learning and learning and learning and still not learn it all. I think that's fascinating. So that's how I'm just going to start off this class, is giving a praise to all the women, shouting out the woman that I'm working with on this board here, and the woman of my life kind of realigning me back into motion, getting my confidence back and my belief that what I'm doing on this channel and the people that I'm serving and the amount of people that have been growing in this community, that have been contributing, that I'm in the right place. And for all the women that I met at the Women Empowerment Expo, I know you guys are going to accelerate me even further, okay? Because God also said this thing that really hit me, where He says, "For I know the plans that I have for you." Plans to prosper you, plans to give you a future, not to harm you, but to prosper you and give you a future and hope, right? For I know the plans that I have for you. That's amazing. Shall we dive into the numbers here? Let's let's take care of this wonderful woman here that is a contributor of the channel, currently making $2,400 a month, has 2 jobs, works a full-time, part-time, all right? Expenses are $2,130. We got a current debt of $20,000, and our cash flow is anywhere from $270 to $300. Okay? Now, one thing I must point out is for everyone that's in the process that I've been talking to, or you filled out a form, you've been doing the things that I've been telling you to do, you're in the process of getting approved for a line of credit, whether it be a credit card or a HELOC, whatever your debt weapon is. Please reach out to me. Please make a commitment and give, whether it be a tier 2 or tier 3, even tier 1, get on a Q&A with me so I can make sure that you don't make a mistake on your chunk, okay? That is something that we did here, all right? I love this lady, but she made a mistake on the line of credit. She took too much money out, chunked at something, okay? And now we have a debt on the line of credit for $1,700. It was originally at $2,200, $2,100, okay? So she took too much, and the reason why she took too much is because of this. See, everything has to do with current cash flow before we start, okay? Whether it's you have your emergency fund and you've got savings and you've got cash on hand, then I evaluate that and I'm like, cool, we're ready to go. But when we don't have a lot of cash on hand and we don't have a lot of cash flow, we need to prepare ourselves for that initial chunk so that we can get the ball running, get the ball going, okay? So we're gonna do a little fix and then go into velocity banking, all right? But we're gonna do velocity banking to fix our little boo-boo, a little mistake. So we owe $1,700 on the line of credit, so now we have to do velocity banking on the line of credit. There is no, these are her debts and there's more. There's no other chunking going on for the next 6 to 8 months. Okay, I put her on a, that's it. Nope, you already chunked, that's it, you can't, don't chunk again. Okay, don't trick yourself, don't think you have money in there, okay? It's money that we have to flip and build it back up. So we owe that. We're gonna do velocity banking. We put our income, right? Our expenses comes right back out. Cash flow stays in, okay? And to really break it down, the way that looks like, the income going in, the expenses coming out, is literally each week, if you divide that by 4, that's $600 going in and 500 and some change coming out, in the same week. I know there's certain weeks where we spend more money than the second week than the third week, but that's very close, okay? Putting that amount in and taking just around the same amount out, that's really close. We don't want to be in that problem there. We want to be able to dump an entire amount of money and take out much less for expenses and keep dumping more than what we take out, right? But it has to be a really good cushion there, right? So by doing this in about 6 to 8 months, from November till about June, okay, we'll have this line of credit zeroed out, okay? It could be done much sooner if she gets a raise. Maybe she finds an extra $50 of cash flow each and every month, right? There's many variables that can shrink this timeline, but we're going to be conservative and let's say June, right? When this occurs, when we hit June, we're going to increase our line of credit to 5K. Okay, very important. We're going to call them up and say, I want to increase my line of credit to 5K. Should have no problem doing that, because between now and June, there are certain debts that are going to fall off, which is going to help us quite a bit, right? So there was a debt that she's going to be paying 38 on that she'll no longer pay, one for 30 that she'll no longer pay, and then we're going to do velocity banking on this right here. So she had a loan in November. The balance is like, I think 4K or less. So by June, okay, balance will be somewhere around here. So we're going to funnel that through the line of credit, okay? And our total cash flow increase from the number 270 plus this, plus the 183 that I was paying the loan, no longer going to be paying that loan because the line of credit paid it first. And now my cash flow goes up 551. Cool. And I'm also assuming that her income is the same, 2,400 going in, but now her expenses are down 183 plus 30 plus 38. So much less is coming out, right? Cool. So that means if I keep doing this with a cash flow of 551, I'll be done by August. So June, July, August. Not bad. Not bad. I'm sorry, no. October. Getting way ahead of myself. Whoa. June, July, August, September, October. That's more real. 5 months. Yeah. October, this line of credit will be zeroed out. The loan itself will be paid off. Okay? And what happens, what gives me this ability to close out the line of credit earlier is in August, I know she's getting a definite raise if she stays at her full-time job, which is going to be a 4% raise. That's good. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be so conservative. Let's just say an extra $200 a month cash flow, right? So new cash flow, $700. We're in October. My income went up. My debts are significantly lower. I wiped out loan. Okay? I wiped out some other debts. All right? And here's what we're going to tackle next with a line of credit still of $5,000. Okay? So I have a car for $3,100 owed left in October, assuming. Pier 1, that's right here. That's going to go down to about 4. All right? Another credit card for $200 left. And then AS, which is another debt for about $500. Add that up, total chunk, $4,200 with a cash flow of 7. Okay? Now, when I make this chunk to pay off these 4 debts, guess what happens? Guess what happens? My expenses go down, right? Because I'm no longer paying $298 on the car, 53 over here, and then 30 over here, and then 30 over here, right? So expenses drop even further, okay? Cash flow goes up to $1,127 in less than a year. From November to October 2019, I'm able to I helped bring this wonderful lady from 270 to 1127. Oh boy, we're gonna do some praising. We're gonna do some hallelujahs, okay? Right? Listen, 2 to 3 months, that 4,200 from inside the line of credit gets paid off. Okay? So that's November, December, January. All right? And I'm predicting that between the beginning of 2020, like January or like February, March, this woman is debt-free. And debt-free. What is that, like 14 months, 15 months to wipe out $20,000 with this income. Very important. That income. Starting off with that cash flow. Okay. Now that I've helped her on the debt payoff side, I'd like to give this woman a solid blueprint on how to proceed with your finances, continuing to serve people, right? Harnessing the power of a woman. Here's another cool thing that I learned. Did you know that the woman was built? See, in the garden, God made man. Man is not a gender. Man is referring to humankind, mankind. Okay? So God only created one earth suit, right? He created one physical body, and he put all man in one. So his next sentence that he goes and says is, it is not good for man to be alone, which in Hebrew, alone means all in one. It is not good for man to be all in one. So you know what he did? He put the man to sleep because he didn't want to see the man. He didn't want to let man see how to make woman, because if that was the case, boy, man be doing this in the bedroom, trying to, in the next door room, trying to make another woman. So he didn't want to do that. So he put man to sleep, and he pulled material, split the atoms. Okay, God was very scientific now, and he built a woman, female, built her. Took time, right? And then when he woke Adam up, he presented her to him. Didn't do anything, didn't say anything. Presented. He didn't command Adam to be with her. He just presented her as a prospect, a potential mate, right? And I think God was confident in his manifestation, his building, right? It's like Legos. You make the Lego, right? Right? We the company makes the Lego. But then you take all the different Legos together and you build this magnificent little, object. I think that's exactly what God did with the woman. And then he presented her, and Adam was like, whoa, wow, that's amazing. We'll call her female, woman, right? And then the most fascinating thing above that is the word helper. I am a testimony to a woman being a helper to the man, right? Now, most people still confuse the word helper, thinking that that is a lower than the man, and that could not be further from the truth, okay? Actually, helper in Hebrew is ezer, which stands for a vitally important role in rescuing and supporting. And my friend, I witnessed this last night when I was weeping, crying. My woman rescued me from being lost, supported me, built me up, got me the confidence to get back in front of the camera and keep doing it, because I was on the verge of quitting. I wanted to quit. But see, the power of the woman She doesn't need a title or a position, right? She doesn't need a title to show her influence. She can just look at you and you know you in trouble. Right? So here is my blueprint for this wonderful woman that has blessed me, and I'm going to bless her back. I want you to grow your business. You spoke to me about it. I want you to grow it as soon or even before you become debt free. Grow that business. I want you to save 40% of your cash flow in an asset. Don't let it just sit in the savings and not do nothing. Don't waste it. Don't invest that money in things you don't know. Put it in an asset that will guarantee you wealth. Or put that money in the business. Okay? Now, in my mind, the other 60% of the cash flow should go in the business, that money investing in yourself. So you figure your cash flow, when it's all said and done, which should be probably like $1,200, $1,300, if your income stood the same, which I know it won't, it's going to go up, right? Especially with that raise. It did right here, $2,600, right? So $2,600 with $1,200, $1,300 cash flow, okay? 60% of that money investing in yourself, grow the business. The other 40%, store it in an asset that will never lose value, okay? Here's the other thing. Before you make an investment in something you don't know, I want you to have $100,000 in cash, okay? In a liquid account, okay? Whether it be a checking account, okay? Or I'm gonna get to where I'm going to in a minute, all right? But I want you to have that before investing in ROI, okay? Before you invest in pure numbers, like, oh, that'll give me an average rate of blah, blah, blah. Make sure you have 100,000, bomb, and a business, right? And cash flow before you make any moves like that. Create tax-free wealth. I'm going into it, okay? That's where we create our asset that doesn't lose value, okay? Get that policy. Get a life insurance asset that will protect your money, protect your wealth, and grow the wealth tax-free, and it be liquid at any time, okay? Let that money grow, right? Meanwhile, the other 60% of your cash flow is making revenue. Meanwhile, the other 40% is just hedging that other money in case, times are rough, you do a bad month, whatever the case, you still got 40% cash flow rocking, whether that's sitting in a life insurance asset or maybe sitting in a property, right? Or some real estate, some vacant land, whatever the case, right? Do those things. And most importantly, you already know this. Be a blessing and give. Keep giving, don't quit, right? I'm a testimony. I almost quit. There's been many times where I've wanted to quit. Don't quit. You win by nature. By not quitting and just staying the race, you'll come to find out you ain't racing no one but yourself. Isn't that amazing? I hope you guys found a lot of value in this. If you want to be a part of this community, subscribe, leave a comment below, like this video, share it with a powerful woman you know. Share it with a woman that doesn't know her powers, okay? And if you want to take further action, getting your numbers on the board, I want you to be a blessing and give to this channel. Check out the Patreon page. Look at what we're doing. Look at the results. Look at the people that have been growing this. The people, you, not me. It's none of me and all of him influencing you to have dramatic results in your personal finances. My name is Denzel. Have a blessed day.